Yo brodies, how's everything going? Let's welcome the new year with a banger of a video featuring the limited edition Pulsar RotoboX2 gaming mouse. Right off the gate, let me tell you that this is probably one of the best wireless gaming mice that I've tried so far. The design, shape, switches, and performance are almost perfect. Not to mention the absolutely nostalgic colorway Rotobox has chosen for its exclusive collaboration with Pulsar. For those who are not familiar, Rotobox PH is the official distributor here in the Philippines of some of the most sought after gaming brands like Glorious, Epos, and Game Gear, Ako, Pulsar, and a lot more. And having the opportunity to have their own Pulsar X2 Mini is something they can really be proud of. Now let me share with you my thoughts not only about this special collaboration, but the overall Pulsar X2 Mini itself. So let's get into it. Now, I've already released a dedicated ASMR unboxing video about this, which you can watch here. But essentially, the box features a nice gray colorway with Rotobox and Pulsar branding around it. I must say there are only 1,000 units of this available, and each one comes with a trading card, which you'll see in a minute. Upon opening the slide-up packaging, the first thing that you'll notice is the limited edition Pulsar RotoboX2 gaming mouse itself. Underneath its plastic platform, we have a sort of love letter from Rotobox, which is certainly a nice touch. Then we have an accessory box right here, a small compartment holding the 2.4 GHz USB dongle, and a USB Type-A to Type-C adapter. Inside the accessory box, we have the user manual written in different languages. We also have a trading card, and fun fact, 99 of which will be a holo card. So congratulations to those who are lucky enough to get one. We also have a sticker here and a nice paracord cable should you choose to use this mouse in wired mode while charging. Now looking closer into the limited edition Pulsar RotoboX2 gaming mouse itself, this is honestly one of the most unique colorways I've seen so far on a gaming mouse with a design language that is close to my heart. The gray colorway is definitely a good choice for a more neutral tone with some accent colors that not only represent our country Philippines but are also reminiscent of the colorway of the original PlayStation 1, which apparently Rotobox PH is quite fond of. Not to mention the subtle Japanese logo that adds a little bit more diverse culture to this gaming mouse. All of which embodies not just Rotobox's passion, but most of us gamers as well. Now, choosing the Pulsar X2 Mini as the model for this collaboration is also a perfect choice, especially considering our relatively smaller hand size. Everything here pretty much checks all my boxes. Here, let me show you around. Up top, we have our primary buttons that feature the KillGM 8.0 switches and the scroll wheel with a TTC Gold encoder and a WANA switch. What I like about this is the fact that they've managed to limit the weight of this mouse to just around 53 grams without the need for perforations, resulting in a cleaner look overall. Not to mention the more comfortable feel of a smooth surface. Lastly, here up top, we have a subtle Pulsar logo. Looking at the left side, you'll get a better idea about its shape, featuring low-profile primary buttons and a relatively tall bump towards the rear end. We also have here the forward and back buttons featuring MWK switches. They are perfectly placed where you can reach them without having to readjust your grip, which is a huge deal for me. We also have a small LED indicator right here. Looking at the back, we have a better view of that bump and the symmetrical shape of this mouse. Flipping it on the right side, you'll see the Japanese logo, and turning it all over to the front side, you can get a good understanding of its shape and the subtle grooves on the primary buttons that guide your fingers towards the center. We also have a substantial cutout for the USB Type-C port that allows compatibility with most USB cables. Looking at the bottom, we have the iconic Pulsar cutout, which allows this mouse to be lightweight without the use of visible and tangible holes on its top shell. And they did it in an aesthetically pleasing way with printed details on the PCB. We also have here the TPI button, the on and off switch, two PTFE gliders, and the PixArt PAW3395 sensor. Now let's talk about its shape. This mini variant is 1.45 inch tall, 2.4 inch wide, and 4.56 inch long. It features a significantly short front profile and a relatively tall bump towards the rear end. I'm quite delighted that its size is absolutely perfect for the size of my small and chubby hands, allowing me to comfortably hold it in a hybrid fingertip style grip without any issue. The bump towards the end is also at just the right height to provide some sort of support for my palms without raising my hand too much away from the surface. This allows me to move the mouse using just my hand and fingers with a little bit of help from my forearm. I was able to adjust to this in just a couple of death matches in Valorant, and it just feels natural. I am a heavy gripper, so weight balance is never an issue for me, but I'd say this mouse is fairly balanced overall in terms of its weight distribution. The shape of this mouse in my opinion is good for both claw and fingertip users, especially this mini version. The buttons for the most part are also pretty decent. However, I noticed that the KillGM 8.0 on this mouse feels slightly heavier and sounds deeper compared to another mouse that I've tried featuring the same switch, but still gives that robust crispy click and tactile feedback. Now, the scroll wheel is phenomenal. It has a good balance between noticeable notches and smooth scrolling without any wobble or squeaking sound. Absolutely perfect for my liking. The side buttons are also very nice. They are fairly lightweight with a good amount of tactile feedback and not mushy at all. One of the most comfortable side buttons that I've tried. You don't even need to put so much effort into these. The build quality is also outstanding, at least for this Pulsar RotoboX2 collaboration. There are no squeaking sounds or any unwanted sound for that matter when you press around the shell and when you aggressively flick it around. Here's a quick sound test for you guys. Now into the things that I didn't like. While I like the neutral gray colorway, I'm not a fan of the super smooth surface. I feel like a little bit more texture could help with the overall grip, especially if you have a sweaty and greasy hand. Now, I've read that the primary buttons have a fair amount of play and sometimes plastic to plastic contact, but to be honest, I can't quite notice it at all here, unless I specifically look for it and closely observe it, which I doubt I'll notice while I'm gaming. So other than the surface, I don't have any major complaints about this mouse, even in terms of its performance, which leads me to my overall experience. With a reliable PixArt PAW3395 sensor and PTFE gliders, the gaming experience is pretty much what I was expecting given my skills. Granted, I haven't played competitive gaming in months due to personal reasons, but as I said earlier, I was easily able to get used to this mouse. The performance is on par if not better with some of the gaming mice featuring the same sensor that I've been using in the past, and with the absolutely perfect size, shape, and weight, gaming on this mouse is fairly natural. If the shape and size of this mouse fit your hands, I don't think you'll get disappointed with its performance at all. Now in terms of the software, I encountered a date bug wherein the software won't open at all unless I change the date of my PC to 2022, which I'm sure they'll sort out soon. So inside the software, we have the device page here, and in the upper right corner, we have the settings. Under the button adjustment, you can customize the function of each button to a different function like other mouse functions, key combinations, macro, DPI, multimedia shortcuts. You get the idea. We also have a toggle here for motion sync, which is a feature that takes advantage of the PixArt 3395 sensor and allows for a more precise and consistent polling rate between your PC and the sensor, thus resulting in better tracking in return for a small latency. Honestly, I don't have the proper tools to test this out, but I didn't encounter any noticeable drawbacks with it turned on, so I won't bother about it too much. We also have here the settings for adjusting the bounce time for faster actuation or for reducing double clicking. We also have an adjustment for the auto sleep mode, and you can configure up to 4 profiles here. Under the performance tab, you can adjust the DPI settings in increments of 50, set up to 4 different DPI stages, and customize the colors to your liking. We also have up to 1000 Hz polling rate, lift-off distance adjustments, and standard mouse settings. And lastly, we have the macro tab and a battery level indicator here up top. Overall, a pretty nifty feature, especially if you want to tinker with the motion sync, the bounce time, and lift-off distance settings. Alright, so to conclude, at this time of my review, there are still stocks available via Rotobox's website, and it is available even for international consumers. As for my overall thoughts about the Pulsar X2 Mini, recommending this to anyone, especially those who prefer a smaller sized, symmetrical lightweight gaming mouse, is quite easy. This is definitely one of the best gaming mice that I've tried so far, and like I said earlier, it has a good balance between design, size, shape, weight, and performance. I just wish the surface has a little bit more texture to it for a better grip. Other than that, a phenomenal gaming mouse, especially at its price. And there you have it guys, thank you for watching. Huge thanks to Rotobox for allowing me to experience this limited edition Pulsar RotoboX2 gaming mouse. Again, it is still available on their website, link below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you appreciate this video, and see you next time. Have a great day guys, you're awesome.